So during your June exams, your prelims, or your finals as well, and your finals, for analytical geometry paper 2, you're definitely going to be asked to put an equation of a circle in standard form, right? Guaranteed. Yes, guaranteed. So firstly, what you want to keep in mind is this is an equation of a circle, right? It is just an equation of a circle that is not in standard form. So if they want you to put this equation in standard form, they basically want you to end up with something in this format, right? So this is something I can safely say is not comfortable for everyone. However, it is not overly complicated or anything like that. So if we're going to put this equation, right, in standard form, the first thing we want to remember is if you're going to answer this question, or if you're going to be able to do this, you need to be able to complete the square. In this case, you're actually going to complete the square twice, but simultaneously, as in you will complete the square for the x, and then you will complete the square for the y, right? So these are the steps that we need to follow. Firstly, this is what you want to do. You want to group the values with x together, right? So these are the values with x together, and then deliberately leave a small space here, right? And then group the values with y, or rather the terms with y, and then deliberately leave a space there, right? On the other side, you want to throw your -8, right? So that's the first thing you want to do. Secondly, to make your life easier, right? So we say leave these spaces out deliberately. The next thing you're going to do is here, you're going to add your b value for the x, right? You're going to add it over 2 squared. And then you repeat the same for the y. You're going to add this value over 2 squared. And also note how I'm putting brackets there, because you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you lose marks because your signs are not correct or something like that. So as soon as you've done this on the left hand side, you've added this value on the left for x, you've added this value on the left for y. You want to go ahead and add these two exact same values on the other side as well, right? Okay, so as soon as you've done that, your sum looks quite chunky, but you really don't want to be overly stressed or anything like that, because we have just basically added two numbers on the left and we've added the exact same numbers on the right. So what you want to keep in mind is note how I have not simplified these brackets here. I have not simplified this entirely. What you would want to do is only simplify the insides, right? So you would have the and then on the right hand side though, you can work out this entire value using your calculator. Okay, so it looks slightly a bit neater now, but again, keep in mind, don't completely simplify this, don't completely simplify that. So our next step is you just want to go ahead and take this x value and this value inside your bracket and put those into one big bracket, and then this is basically just going to fall away. So what's basically happening is what you have here, right? If you were to FOIL this, like open it up, expand it, you end up with this, right? So this is just factorizing, right? Going from this to this, we have not done anything funny if you remember completing the square. You do the same for the y, right? This value for y, and this will always be a plus, by the way. Y and the 1, we put those in brackets, and then the right hand side is just going to be a 2. So this is our equation in standard form. This is what was given. They want us to put it in standard form, and this is what we will have at the end of it. So if you can check, all we did was we completed the square for both the x and the y, added these values on the left, added the exact same values on the right, simplified, and then our equation is in standard form. This being in standard form, we can see that our center is just 3 coordinate -1, and then our radius is equal to, remember, this here is not 100% standard form. However, we can clearly see that whatever the square root of this value is, that's what our r is going to be. So as a final answer, you may want to leave it like so. It just looks a bit funny. However, you will not be necessarily penalized if you leave it like that or if you leave it like that. I would recommend leaving it like that. However, both should be fine.